So I'm going in for surgery tomorrow. I am 6 weeks post-surgery from my original surgery that was an internal fixation. And that happened in Mallorca, Spain, in Palma, and I thought it would be a good surgery. I thought it would be fine, but it's turned out that it's not fine, and that I need to have that hardware removed. My body is rejecting it. It's not closing up properly, and it's been open incision wound for the whole 6 weeks. And I'm starting to see some pieces of hardware sticking out of the skin. So this needs to be changed. But besides that, there might be some dead bone in underneath the plate and around those screws. So I'm going in for surgery tomorrow. I found a really incredible surgeon here in Oregon at Legacy Emmanuel Hospital, and they work with Trauma One. So I'm really calm now, but the past 4 days have been very emotional. I went in and saw a first opinion, and he painted a picture of, the fear of moving toward amputation eventually. And so when that came up, that was, I really felt my heart sink and really brought up a lot of anger. I drove home that day and I was just angry, full of rage, and I just beat, on the dashboard in my mom's car as she drove me home from the hospital, and I was just like, this is not okay. This is not okay. This is not okay. So we went home and we did our research, and we looked for the guy here to reconstruct and salvage my limb. And so we did that, and we found the guy, and we went and saw him Thursday, and we're going to go and see Dr. Beeman, and he's going to do my operation tomorrow. So after seeing Dr. Beeman, he really helped me understand what exactly we're going to do, what exactly this operation entails. So I am going to be taking off, my surgeon is going to be, with my consent, is going to be taking off the hardware. And then underneath that hardware, we're going to see how much of my bone is alive and how much of it is dead. And my surgeon's going to go in there and he's going to cut the bone. And if he sees blood, then he's going to leave it. If he doesn't see blood, then that means my bone is dead, osteonecrosis. So if there's osteonecrosis, we have to cut the bone out. And that means that that bone will have to be regrown over time, nice and slowly. So if it's a lot of bone, that's a very potential. The potential is that a lot of bone is dead, because my original surgery kind of put all these little fragmented pieces down the distal end together, and some of them are not fully together, and some of them are really damaged by these big screws, invasive screws, pushing into them and really killing off their blood flow and their circulation and oxygen. So we're hoping that there's not that much dead. But if there is a lot of dead, we have to cut it out. We can't keep it in there. So we're going to cut that out, and I'm hoping that my articulating surfaces are good and that they will be salvaged, that we don't need to cut those out. If they do, I'm looking at an ankle replacement. So we're hoping that the ankle articulating surface is good. So once he gets all of that out, he's going to do debridement and irrigation, looking for infection, clearing out infection, and then a pretty severe kind of a strong approach to antibiotics. They're going to test my cultures and see what antibiotics I need to deal with whatever bacteria I might have, because my wound has been open for this long. Then I'm already contaminated. There's a high risk of bone, osteomyelitis, so bone infection. So we're going to hopefully deal with that through antibiotics and also irrigation. And then we'll need to do external fixation using the Ilya-Zarev method, which is an external apparatus that works with more tension. And what that does is that tension creates the perfect amount of space between the bones to grow, so they have enough oxygen, they have enough air blood flow, circulation, and they have enough space to grow toward each other as opposed to being smushed together. So hopefully there's not that much bone I have to grow back, but it could be a lot. We don't know. We're going to wait to see what's underneath the plate. After that happens and that's all set up, of course, we're going to need to deal with skin flap, a skin graft, taking it hopefully from not very far from the open incision wound. So we'll just take, and it's not a very big area. It's actually quite small compared to many things that people are facing. So we'll get that covered, and that will take some time. So I'm looking at, like 6 months or more. We don't know. We're just going to take it one surgery at a time. I might need 3 or 4 more surgeries after this one to make sure that my leg is fully recovered and structurally sound and reconstructed, and that those bones and osteoblasts really work, creating strong bones again. So I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm anxious. Can't wait to get into the hospital tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m., and we start the procedure at 7. So I have some time. I've got my list of questions that I want to ask the doctor. Not so many questions because a lot of it will be answered once I'm in surgery. Then he's going to see what we're dealing with. So I look forward to waking up from my operation and getting good news. But I'm also prepared, I'm also have had to prepare myself for the bad news. And that means I've had to look at my greatest fear of losing a limb or infection of my body and, death. And it sounds so easy to say right now, but, when I'm alone and in my bed and thinking about like my leg and that I can't walk and I haven't walked in 6 weeks, and the original trauma and the fact that I literally broke my foot off my ankle. So we need to save this foot so that I can dance again and I can run again and I can play and explore and hike and practice and teach and get back to my life. So either way, this will change my life. This has already changed my life. I'm having to get really honest with myself and look at my favorite drug, which is anger. Been very angry about this, angry that it happened to me, angry that it happened at all, angry that I can't take it back, angry that the surgery didn't go well, angry I have to go back in there, angry I might lose a leg. This sadness, like my heart skips a beat when I hear that, where I am, the progress of that, the denigration of that essentially is, could lead to amputation or death. You hear things like that. Of course, it needs to be said, but when you hear something like that, and you're in the doctor's office and you're looking at, this leg that you haven't been able to walk on in 6 weeks, and you're not sure when you're ever going to get back on it. It really you take pause. You take pause, and I had to look at my fears, and what happened was I would feel, my triggering, and that one of my favorite ways, or one of my best ways, or my go-to ways, or my habitual ways, is to move toward anger. And something happened the other night after seeing my Dr. Beeman, as I was having these wild dreams, and I would wake up in like the middle of the lucid dream in the middle of the night, just with that heart stopping, like the fear of losing my leg, and then the anger coming in, and then this other voice in my mind said, anger is not gonna save you now. Anger is not gonna protect you from this. Anger is only gonna be toxic. Anger is only going to really, it just, all I heard was anger is only going to be toxic. It's not going to help you. It's not going to save you now. And that hit me really in a deep place in my heart. And so that softened me, and that brought me to a place of really surrendering on a level I don't remember ever having to surrender on. And I'm still in that process. The surgery's tomorrow, and I don't know what's going to happen. And all I can do is just enjoy the trees and enjoy this day and enjoy the beauty that is around me. You can see my little scooter in the back, and I've got my room all set up for post-operation. So, whew, yeah, pretty full on. Let's see how it goes. I'll be in touch again. But for now, I'm going to go to bed tonight. I'm going to wake up early, and I'm just going to keep holding myself in the highest light possible so that I can be of greater service, so I can continue to do the work in this world of being human and being compassionate and looking at all the emotions that I'd rather not feel and facing them, so that I'm not another person just living in fear and fantasy and running away and hiding. So, wish me luck. I've been practicing for this. Yeah. I'm feeling calm right now. I'm feeling calm, I'm feeling ready. Because it's time and I need this. It's time and I need this. So, let's go. Let's do this.